Hi, Janet Harley here, your host for Faith in an Ever Changing World Encouragement and Hope Faith Story. And I have with me today Brooklyn Wittmer.
Hi.
Delightful, Brooklyn. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Well, thank you for
Oh,
having me.
yes, ma'am. Brooklyn is an actress, singer, songwriter, pianist, and model. She is passionate about sharing her gifts and talents in the industry for the glory of God. And in 2015, she attended Actors, Models, and Talent for Christ. And they helped her discover her newfound love for acting and modeling. So ever since then, she has pursued her acting, commercial and TV and film, as well as modeling. And Brooklyn stars in her first lead and speaking role in a feature film called Don't Say My Name. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. She is vibrant and driven and is excited for where God will lead her next. And she hopes to continue to act and sing for His glory. Thank you, Brooklyn. And when we come back, right after this, we'll hear Brooklyn's faith story. We'll be right back. Hello again. And Brooklyn, if you will, please share your faith story with us.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for having me here today, Janet. I'm so excited
You're
to be
welcome.
here with
My
you.
pleasure.
So my faith journey, I grew up in a Christian household. I had known about Jesus and the Lord for all my life, but I accepted him to my heart in 2006. And ever since then, I just pursued him personally in my own life. And it's cool because I think God takes us on a journey, and he leads us into things that he wants us to pursue, and he always uses it with our giftings. And so growing up, I love to sing, and I sang ever since before I could talk. And so it was just my passion. It just came out of me. My middle name is Joy, and so my family always say she's a bubbling brook of joy, and it was just always a part of just me just using my gifts is just I wanted to sing, and that joy came out of me just at the beginning of my life. And so growing up, I sang in different things for church, worship, and I was a part of different things. And so it was cool because when I was a senior in high school in 2015, they always ask you, right, when you're graduating, they're like, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go to college? What's your choice? And I feel like you have that pressure almost. Not everybody might feel this way, but for me, I felt like I had a little pressure of okay, well, if I choose one thing, I feel like I need to go in that direction. And I don't really know what that is exactly. I knew I loved to sing. It was just always in my heart to do something with that. And I remember it was so cool because I was in the running for homecoming queen, and I remember this question of so what's your next step in life? Where are you going to go after this? And I was a shy girl, too, at that time, and I was just learning who I was. And I remember I wrote down I want to sing and I want to do missions. That was just two things I could remember sharing and the question. And it was cool because then a month or so after that happened, I auditioned for AMTC, just Actors, Models, and Talent for Christ. And there I shared an original song, and I shared just my love of singing and just my passion for the Lord. And they were so kind. They loved the song, and they were like, you know what, we want you to go home tonight, and we want you to pray about this decision of moving forward with us. We love your talent. We can see that there's something there. And so it excited me, and I was like, cool, this is great. So that evening, we had a night's rest, but I couldn't really sleep. And It was kind of one of those things just on your mind. And I remember my mom had prayed over me over that time. And so the next morning, we were going to get the phone call. And so we were anticipating that. And so it was me and my parents, and we were having devotions. And I got a phone call, and I was like, hello. And just they were telling me, hey, like, you're in. We'd love for you to be a part of AMTC. And they're like, what's your decision? And I was like, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes to this. And I remember after the phone call, my dad read Romans 8:28, which is, in all things, God works the good of those who love him.
Yes.
According to his purpose. And I was like, that confirmed it all. I was like, God's going to use this for his glory, and I can just trust in this plan that he has for me. I'm just going to say yes to this and see where it leads. And so I pursued singing in the AMTC, and then they said, why don't you try acting and modeling too? And I was like, oh, sure. Like, I've never really done that before, but I'm excited to try. So they just let me, give myself some opportunities to do stuff like that, like acting. It was such a joy to learn with them, because they had such guidance with the word, and just guidance as well. And so, like, it was just so good to be able to learn the business, but then learn, like, who I am in Christ. And so, it was a really great opportunity. And that's where I got my first agency, through this conference. And so I signed on to a talent agency with acting, and also modeling too with them. And it was just a cool experience. And I've been pursuing all of these things ever since.
Yes.
And there's just a lot of cool things that God has done in my life that I just cannot fathom. Like, I just couldn't do this on my own, for sure. Just saying,
absolutely.
The best thing in the world.
Oh, yes. Well, if you will, speak a little bit to your first feature film here, Don't Say My Name. I know it is based on true story. So tell us a little bit about that.
It's called Don't Say My Name, and it's about human trafficking. I play a girl who was trafficked, and she was trafficked by her mom's boyfriend. And so it's like a family situation. And it happens. It's not just something that's happening, in a different part of the world. It's happening in your neighborhoods and your communities. And so, it's just so sad to see and hear stuff like that. And so for us, we wanted to portray a story that was inspired by true events.
Right.
And we wanted to bring it across to the screen to people, so that they can see the importance of bringing awareness to their community and to those they love. And so I played a girl who was trafficked, and went through this journey of, like, what it means coming out of that trafficking situation. So our journey is a little different in our story. So we just take what happens after she's been rescued, and there's a lot of deep conversations and just the healing process. It's not just an overnight thing. It's just, you have to talk through those things, and it's just a journey. And I'm really excited for people to see it if they haven't seen it already. So
right. Yes. And if you haven't seen the trailer, I believe the trailer is out, where you'd be able to see it. Please do. I think you can just don'tsaymyname.com and be able to find the trailer there. It is powerful. And of course, the faith and all that's involved is what it takes. Faith, getting through this kind of emotional situation that can happen. So I appreciate you telling us a little bit more about that, Brooklyn. Now, if you will, there are links to find out more information about Brooklyn, and to maybe get in touch with her. And I just appreciate you so very much coming today and sharing your story. I would like to ask you one more question. What is one thing that we can do to hold on to our faith in this ever-changing world we live in?
That's such a good question. I feel like it's hard to trust anymore. You see things in the news and you're like, what do I put my trust in? Who do I hold on to for hope? And I know that God gives hope.
Yeah.
And he gives it through his son, Jesus. He died for each one of us. And he has so much love to give to us. And we can trust that we will not be shaken in this world if we lean on him. And so I feel like it's just a daily practice of giving that trust to the Lord. Be like, God, I give you my life. I surrender all these fears and all these concerns to you. And when you allow that trust to just develop and give it to him, he will come through. He always comes through. He's never going to leave you abandoned. And so I highly encourage you to just, if you've never done that before, just ask the Lord to just be able to open up your heart and be like, God, come into my life and give me this sense of peace that only you can give, and allow that to move in your life. Don't be afraid of it. I tell you, and I know this for a fact, it's the best thing in the entire world to trust the Lord, because he will come through always.
Yes. And then we do say yes. And our obedience and faith come into play. Thank you, Brooklyn, again, so much for being my guest today. What a delight to have you. And we're just going to pray that the Lord will continue to bless you and open up opportunities for you to give him glory. Thank you all for watching. And I want to thank our friends at Creative Motion Network for watching as well. Thank you. And have faith and look up, friends, where our help comes from. Bye. God bless.